This is Ohio.
This is Ohio.
Jack, do you know how to tell the difference between a white oak and a red oak? Like before it leaves out and everything.
No, but I know someone who does.
You do? Like one of those, know-it-all, Latin-spewing nature people, makes a nature walk last forever.
No, just a friend with a superpower. Right now is early spring, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like early spring. It's 60 degrees out and sunny.
There's a deer running over there.
We've been having lots of sunnier days. Warmer days too.
Another deer.
So the buds on the trees are more conspicuous than they would be earlier in the winter. Although something I learned when I went to the College of Worcester was the buds actually develop in the winter. So they're all set to go when the spring comes around. One thing you learn to look at with a tree, in addition to the bark, is the way the branches come off the tree. And if you look at the very top and how the little twigs are coming off the tree, you might see if they're opposite or alternate. There's a saying that you learn, and it's mad cap horse. So M stands for maples, A stands for ash, D stands for dogwood. Cap is Caprifoliaceae, and until I looked it up before I got out the door, I forgot what it meant, but it's the family for honeysuckles. And then horse is horse chestnut. So those are the ones that have the opposite. So that helps you key out what tree you're looking at. Oh, here's something. That's an oak tree, and you can tell because the leaves are on the tree, and if you know that shape of the leaf, that'll tell you. And it's not like, oh, this oak tree gave me a clue that it was an oak. But oaks typically do that. They hang on to their leaves until the spring, and then as the buds pop open and new leaves grow, that's when the leaves will drop finally. It doesn't, you can see it's not all over this whole tree. It's just in parts. So we don't really know why they hold on to their leaf. Some people think that maybe it gives them a extra boost of fertilizer later.
Did you hear the barn owl?
Yeah, there's a barn owl.
What's he doing out?
Just hanging. It's quiet enough for them to feel comfortable to speak. So if you look around, you can be like oak, 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 oak. Mm-hmm. You can separate them into two subfamilies from oak. You can say, does that leaf have a sharp edge or does it have a rounded edge? And if it's a sharp edge, then it is it's in the red subfamily of oaks, because it's like a phrase you remember is, if that was sharp, it would cut you, and then your blood would come out and oxidize and be red. Whereas the white oaks, they're more rounded lobes, And so you just say that's a white oak. I have no saying for that. Why do I like trees? Why do I
Why do you like trees?
go outside and tell people about them? I like trees and plants. I like especially the ones that are native to this area, because I worked at the Holden Arboretum in the conservation department, and our job was to every summer was to get rid of non-native plants, and in the process I was like, well, I have to have a reason of why to get rid of them, and so I'm like, oh, because I want to save this, and I tried to learn the different native plants that I saw. So something as we walked down past all these sassafras is that these may not be just tens of individuals, but a few individuals.
You mean
Because
they're connected?
they're connected under the soil by their roots.
Huh.
So like this one might be Sally, that one is also Sally.
But
Like
this
the
one
one's
is-
like close by.
That one's Johnny right there.
Yeah, that's a Johnny.
So it's like kind of like aspen tree.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Just like an aspen. Although I think aspen is still
It's like
the
one.
largest.
You know what's funny to
land
me, Emily,
organism.
is that you've been pointing out these really skinny and small trees,
Oh yeah.
and the big obvious trees you haven't even looked at yet. You haven't even pointed them out.
Okay.
But you're like,
Are you
which
calling me out?
No, I'm not calling you out. I
Oh.
think that's actually harder.
Oh,
You know?
well, sometimes.
Feels like-
sorry.
It feels harder to be able to. I don't know.
Okay, well, okay, here's a huge tree that I know. It's a tulip tree. So tulip trees are
Poplar? Or tulip.
Liriodendron tulipifera. That's one
Take
of the
that, dog.
That's one of the few scientific names I still remember because it was really
Drops mic.
like it has
Twice before you ask for clarification.
Yeah, right?
It's on. It's on.
has the name tulip in it.
Right.
So it's our tallest tree in Ohio. Straightest too. So that's a big one. I know this is one of the few I know by his bark, and then also it's like straight up, man. There's one. The beech, the American beech,
Yeah.
I should say. That one that's really smooth and gray, and you can say it looks like an elephant skin, maybe. Although I don't know any elephants. People say that where the old branches used to be, as it was a little tree, say it looks like a knee of an elephant. They are a remnant from when our land masses were all together and it was more tropical. So it's one of the few. And if you've ever had a beech tree like in your yard or somewhere that you walk a lot, like here, they tend to be the trees that fall over because in the tropics, the roots of trees don't grow down because the water is like on the surface and the soil's actually nutrient poor. So their roots just do grow more horizontal, and so they're one of the first trees to like fall over in a storm.
People like to carve their names into
Yeah,
these trees.
I don't like that. That's like carving into your skin and not like covering it. It leaves it open to disease. One tree that I confuse a lot, or two trees rather that I confuse a lot, are cherry trees and walnut trees. And I suppose if you look on the ground and find walnuts, then it's a walnut, and if you don't, it's a cherry. So these trees with lots of chippy bark, and they're really dark and like dark brown in color. Do you understand what chippy means? They're like really textured.
Yeah, that's cherry.
Yeah, so those are cherry. And then ones with walnuts are walnuts. Here's a dogwood, this tiny understory tree. They don't get very big. They have the swooping branches, and I know them by their bark. Get it? Dogwood. Do I worry about this place? I'm a little bit worried in terms of like yes, because it's never been so warm in our history. But I think things can adapt. I think we're gonna have a hard time because I don't think like the sugar maples can always produce syrup for us. Like I think we're eventually going to find that, and eventually, I mean, I don't know, tens of years, we're gonna find that if we take the sap out of the trees are gonna die because they need it. And the sugar maple season has already shortened dramatically, and started earlier. Like, big producers are producing in January as opposed to end of February.
That's a very specific effect of climate change. The sugar maples.
Well, that's just one example.
Yeah, and that's just one tree.
How do you feel after you spend a little time with the trees?
I feel good. They are calming, and they'll be there until somebody cuts it down, and hopefully that never happens.
Music for This Is Ohio
By Matt Jackford.
This story was produced by Jack Schuler,
And you, Doug Swift.
and edited by
You.
Doug Swift
To see a multimedia version of the story, including pictures, go to our website, which is
at thereportingproject.org.
Thanks for listening.
And we will see you next time.
We probably won't see them.
Oh, we'll see them.
I mean, figuratively.
But figuratively, we'll see them.
Maybe.
We will.
It's kind of weird.
No, we will, though.